Everyone for joining, and today we have Mitul Patel as our speaker. She is a 7x Salesforce certified independent consultant and Ahmedabad WIT leader. She is a Salesforce CPQ trainer, and recently she has started her own firm as well. So congratulations to her, and over to you, Mitul. Thank you.
Thanks, Harshit. Thank you for the introduction. First of all, I want to apologize for delaying the session. There were certain personal reasons due to a death in my family. I just had to go there. So we delayed it for 1 hour. And so Harshit has already introduced me. I don't want to spend more time on that. And let's get started on CPQ. So guys, let's make it more interactive. There might be some people who have already worked on CPQ, or you might be studying it via Trailhead. So let's discuss first, what is your idea of CPQ? What do you know about CPQ? And feel free to unmute yourself and you can answer it.
So it enables the businesses to take care of their lead to cash process, and which includes the configure price quote. So configure is the product configurations. Pricing is obviously the pricing and discounts. And then quote is the templates that you configure for as per the business requirements.
That's absolutely correct. Anyone else wants to share their idea of CPQ?
Using the CPQ, you can easily create the order.
Right, that the order, right?
Yes.
So as you said, Rahul, quote to cash is entire cycle wherein starting from lead, converting it to a customer, creating opportunities, and then sending out quotations. Then once the quotations are approved and signed, there's a contract coming into place. Once the contract is in place, then you actually offer your products or services, and then you invoice it. Once you invoice it, you get the cash, which is the realization of revenue. So this is entire quote to cash cycle. And where CPQ comes into play is whenever you want to send a quotation to your potential customers, and that is where you use your CPQ. Now, if we talk about the module in terms of Salesforce CPQ, the order is a separate module. So there's an entire order management wherein you can manage your invoices, and there's orders, there's invoice management. Even if you have, let's say if it's an MNC, you will have companies at different countries. So each country will have its own taxation and rules and everything, right? So all these things can be taken care in the invoicing and billing part. And so today we're going to talk about CPQ, which is configure price quote, which is when you have converted a lead into an opportunity, and you have that first or second or at least multiple rounds of interaction with your potential customer, you understand that their needs. Now, it can be either in terms of products or services, right? So it can be products or services, and then you're basically, excuse me, just sending out the quotation to the customer. Okay, so this is where the entire CPQ cycle comes into picture. So now let me ask you, what is your favorite thing about Salesforce? And it can be any feature, it can be any general thing, however you think it's feasible.
It is highly configurable. So you need the least support from the developer for managing the basic business requirements.
That's correct. So you mean to say the ease of using it is your point of, your favorite thing of Salesforce. And I even love it because I have been a non-coder from very beginning. In my career of 8 years, I've never coded, to be very honest. So that's my favorite part as well. Okay, so who else wants to share their favorite thing about CPQ?
Using CPQ, it's actually a point to click. If you don't consider CPQ, it will be very difficult to uh, do a lot of automation, to create, to add the products. Then, if you want to do any validation or anything, and then you need to go for renewals, all those pricing, all those part are being very easy by using CPQ.
That's correct. Absolutely. So I've done this session a multiple times, and the most common answer that I get about Salesforce is, the most favorite thing of all the developers is usually the triggers. And when I ask why, they simply give me the reason that you can do anything and everything using a trigger, right? And when it comes to CPQ, the favorite thing comes to as a product rules or price rules. Reason being, when you're able to achieve whatever requirement you have, you call it as a powerhouse. And a powerhouse is a person or a thing with great energy, strength, or power, right? So, and that is why we call product rules and price rules as the powerhouses of CPQ, because they, using them, you can basically make everything configurable, and however you want to achieve anything will be possible using your product rules and price rules. So let's get started. So I recently started my company, which is Cloud Consult. I have 8+ years of experience in Salesforce industry, Salesforce ecosystem. I am 7x Salesforce certified, which includes the Salesforce CPQ specialist and the CPQ instructor certification as well. I am a Salesforce CPQ trainer. I am a consultant. I lead the Ahmedabad Women in Tech group, and I am a Trailblazer mentor. So if you have any doubts in terms of anything, you can definitely reach out to me and I'll help you out with that. I also have my own Salesforce channel, which is Salesforce World by Mitul Patel. And to be honest, I haven't had much chance to, post, because I was a bit occupied with my recent company. So I'll be honest there. But yeah, I'll start posting on it pretty soon. So let me walk you through what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about what is Salesforce CPQ. So why do we use Salesforce CPQ? What was the need? We are going to talk about the Salesforce CPQ architecture. We're going to talk about the product rules, and we'll have a product rule use case and a demo as well. And then we'll move on to price rules, and we'll do a use case and a demo for price rules as well. And then we'll just summarize the product rules and price rules. So let's get started. Salesforce CPQ is configure price quote. That's the full form of Salesforce CPQ. And it's a sales tool where companies can provide accurate pricing for most complex product configuration scenarios as well. So you might be thinking, why and what are these complex product configuration scenarios? Think about a very basic example. Let's say, and everyone must have gone through this. You're buying a new house and you need at least, let's say, 7 air conditioners, 7 ACs for your house. So what are you gonna do? You will either go online and search for, you'll go to multiple websites. You'll go to Amazon, Flipkart, Reliance, and whatnot, and you'll see which person or which website is getting you the cheapest pricing and giving you more services. If you take a step back, if you wouldn't have been in the digital era, you would have gone to multiple shops and asked for a quotation. And then based on, who is providing what, you would have decided that you want to go with XYZ person because they are giving you the cheapest price for ACs and the best services or more number of services. So Now, if you think about this scenario in an enterprise way, there are several companies that have very complex scenarios. For example, let's say you have a helicopter company, and that helicopter company allows you to configure entire helicopter. For example, what kind of engine do you want? What kind of blades do you want? What kind of rotor motor do you want? What kinds of seats do you want? Which kind of headphones do you want? What kind of display do you want? So such complex configuration is something where CPQ is being used. If I give you another example, everyone must have used cloud storage. That's very basic. So when it comes to your personal usage, you really don't have that much complexity. But when it comes to, let's say, a company who wants to buy 1,000 licenses for their existing employees, and then after every employee is onboarded, they want to buy a new license for that person. So if you think about all these scenarios, that is where you will have the need for a complex tool, because you cannot manage everything via Excel. And why? Because the product configurations that are required, you cannot basically make a list saying that this rotor motor does not go with this blade. This display does not go with this engine, or this leather seats do not go with this, the aura or whatever of the helicopter. Similarly, when you're selling licenses, you will have certain product complexities. So you'll have those barriers saying that you cannot sell these two licenses together and all such scenarios. So this is your complex product configuration scenarios, and this is where Salesforce is most useful. Now, the CPQ applications, they take into account your optional features, the customizations, the quantities, discounts, everything. And they basically will quote the prices very quickly and accurately. So if it's a non-digital era, think about it, before, probably go back 20 years, they would have either a list on a notebook or somewhere in the Excel, or somewhere where they would say that, hey, this is approved, this is not approved, you cannot sell it like this and all that. But now you can do everything very quickly with Salesforce CPQ. Why? Because all you have to do is configure your products, set your pricing, set the templates for your quote, and you're good to go. Because you can then integrate your e-signature tools with Salesforce as well. So Salesforce CPQ does not have any e-signature tools integrated. So basically you have to buy separate licenses and then configure it in your Salesforce CPQ org. So some of the e-signature tools are Adobe Sign or DocuSign. So, and these are compatible with Salesforce, so you can easily work with them. So let's just reiterate on this particular slide. C is for configure. So this is where all the product configuration happens. P is your pricing, which is where you figure out all the pricing, the discounts, and discounts can also be volume discounts or duration discounts. And then you have the Q part of CPQ, which is the quoting, wherein you can set a template and you can send your tools or send your documents for e-signature. Now, apart from the product complexities that we talked about in certain scenarios, CPQ is helpful because you can have 10 times faster quote generation. And this is the source. The source of this data is from the Salesforce website. And they have done research and connected with their current customers and seen a 10 times faster quote generation. They have 95% reduction in the approval time. They have 2x faster moving from quote to cash, and they have 30% quicker ramp for new reps. So when you think about implementing Salesforce CPQ, you just don't have to think about what is there currently. You also have to think about in future. And any system that you're adopting in terms of Salesforce or CPQ, you have to ensure that it's scalable. So anything that you build should be, you should be able to increase it to greater extent. And that is where Salesforce CPQ comes in very handy, because it's more scalable. Today you have 5 sales reps, tomorrow you might have 50 sales reps, and you don't have to worry about all those things. The other improvements that we have seen with our customers in terms of speed is 33% reduction of time that is needed to generate a quote, 30% time reduction in quote approval, and 20% time from quoting to closing that entire thing. And then in terms of accuracy, we have seen that there is a 35% reduction in the number of quotes with configuration errors. You have 38% lesser number of quotes with pricing errors, and you have 29% of increasing forecast accuracy. Now, why is forecast accuracy an important point here? Reason being, today when you even look at Salesforce, they have their licensing because they are a product company who sells their licenses. So their existing customers or the renewing customers are a very important part, and they definitely need that forecast whenever they are doing a final or the entire planning for selling the licenses. And hence a forecast accuracy is much important. Acquiring new customers is a different thing, and retention of the customers is a different thing. And retention is very important when it comes to license model, because you have all that pay as you go model, and that is where the forecast accuracy is very helpful. So if you want to look at the Salesforce CPQ architecture, you can just scan these codes. And because it's a very bigger topic, we'll not be able to cover it in this particular session. But there are objects, and the entire ER diagram has been added on this website. And if you're unable to go to the particular website, you can let me know and I'll share the link with you guys. Yeah, it's working. Are there any questions until now?
No.
All right, thank you. I'll just take a quick screenshot for you guys, and I'll share it with the DUG group as well. So if you want to scan this at a later stage, you can do that. Okay, so let's move on to our product rules. So your product rules enable you to evaluate a product option, quote, or quote line against user-made conditions. And once you have evaluated that condition, you can perform an action in response. So product rules are used while the configuration of products is happening within your Salesforce org. And your product rules work on if-then structure. So you have your error condition, which is the if part of if-then structure, and your product action is then part of your if-then structure. Every time you create a product rule, you must create a configuration rule, because it associates the product and the product feature to which the product rule needs to be applied. And for lookup-based rules, you have to create a lookup query for a product rule. And this is optional, because you have to create it only if you are if you want to look up values from a lookup table. So, and I will work on this in the in an example I'm going to show you today. When lookup queries are used when you have multiple data that you want to access from your org. For example, let's say you have different discount, partner discount, associated with different type of product family, different type of partnership level. For example, if you have bronze partnership, you want to give 5% discount for hardware and 2% discount for software. If you have anything else, let's say if you have silver partnership, then you can have 2% discount on your hardware products and 3% on your software products. So when you have such different levels of partnerships, you can use your lookup query. You can store them all in a table on an object in Salesforce, and then you can access it whenever required. So that is your lookup query or a lookup-based rule. Now, there are 4 types of product rules. First is the validation rule. So validation rule is used to confirm that product option, quote or quote line field values, they match some predetermined condition. For example, for every desktop you want to sell a monitor. So what you will do here, you will compare the quantity of desktop to the quantity of monitor. The second type of product rule is alert rules. They help you to guide.
Are we still on the same slide or have we gone to the next
Yeah,
slide?
this is just an additional slide that I'm just giving additional information. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
So we have alert rules, which help you guide and inform through messages during configuration or pricing. And you can think about it like a soft validation. For example, recommended products based on the products added in the cart. So if you are buying, you must have seen in your Amazon and Flipkart as well. There's always something on the bottom which says you may also like. So that is sort of your recommendations, right? So you can use your alert rules for recommendations or any sort of soft messaging. Like if 2 products don't go together, but you still want the user, if they want it, then they can buy it. So certain kind of soft validations can be done using alert rules. And then we have filter rules. They help you to pre-filter the products that are available to add a bundle. So for example, you want to create a dynamic bundle based on the product that has been selected. And we are going to look at this as in our example or in our use case. Then we have selection rules. So they help you set up rules to automatically add, remove, show, hide, enable, or disable options in a bundle. For example, if you want to sell a router only if the customer buys a network switch, that is why you can use your selection rules. And in our use case today, we are going to create a filter rule.
So, which was the first rule that you mentioned, if you could repeat?
The first rule is validation rule.
Okay, thanks.
So 4 types of product rules: validation rules, alert rules, filter rules, and selection rules. So our use case today is we are going to create a filter product rule. And the basic scenario is on selection of a printer product, you have to show the product code with paper. So we have a product which is called printer pack, and we have to build a dynamic bundle in a way where on a click of a button, we just want to see the filtered options related to paper. So let me show you. I've already created this. We are on the Salesforce org. We are on Salesforce CPQ app. I am on product rules tab, and I'm selecting paper options here. So let's do one thing. Before that, I can show you how I've configured the products. So we have this product called printer pack. Check out the product code that we have, which is printer pack. And the name is printer pack. And here is bundle is true, which means it's a bundled product. Now let's go to related. And you have two features here, printer and paper. So for printer, you have the minimum option set to 0. And for paper, you have it as 1. Notice the number 10 and 20 here. Can anyone tell me what is this? Why is it 10 and 20 number has been added?
To assign the ascending or descending order priority.
Correct. That's absolutely true. Based on the number that you enter here, the order of the visibility of products or features will be decided. And why are we putting 10 and 20? Reason is, yeah, go ahead.
To insert any other new product if it comes in between.
Absolutely.
So, okay. Thank you.
That is correct. So we are basically just being future ready. So in the future, if you want to add more features or more product, you can just add a number called 15, or, you know, if you after 15, you feel like add 13, so that you have some gap and you can add anything if you want. Now let's open one of the feature, paper. Here you can see min options is 1. It's configured for printer pack, and check out the option selection method here is dynamic, which means we are going to create this dynamic bundle here. If you check it out for printer, we haven't selected any option selection method here, but usually the options here are, it can be click, add, or dynamic. So click is, you just simply have to select plus sign, or you can just basically have click. Then you have an add button. So that is where this add comes into picture. And then you have dynamic. So based on the product rule you will add, you will be able to select the dynamic options for that particular bundle or that particular feature. Now let's check out there are two options we have added, laser printer and toner cartridge. So let's open this product option. You have number 10, it's selected and required. It's an accessory and it is under the feature printer. And let's go back and see the toner cartridge product. The number is 20, it is selected, required, and the feature is paper and the type is accessory. So we have seen the products now, and check out the price book entry as well. Without the price book entry, you will not be able to see this product on your Salesforce quotation or Salesforce configuration as well. So this is a standard price book, and notice the price has been listed as 0. Why? Because this is a dynamic bundle and the pricing of the bundle will be given based on the selection of the options. So now let's go to our product rule and let's go to paper options. And now you can see the type is filter, the scope is product, and evaluation is always. Evaluation event can be of different types. So it can be load, edit, save, and always. And will basically need to evaluate this product rule always. So now and one major thing is active. You have to ensure your product rules are active. Now, notice how the lookup query information is blank because this is not a lookup-based rule. We'll go to the related list and notice there are no conditions required for this as well. We have added a configuration rule and action. So if you check out the configuration rule, remember I mentioned that it is must for you to create a configuration rule if you are creating a product rule. Why? Because it is telling the system that this particular product rule should be used when you have selected the printer pack product and use it for product feature called paper. So it's basically associating your product and product feature to this product rule. So if you remove this product feature from here, make it blank, then this entire rule will be applicable to the product called printer pack. But since we have added this product feature paper, this product rule is applicable to paper product feature only. Are you all with me until now?
Yes.
Perfect. Let's go to the product action. So here the type is default filter because we are going to filter out our products. Now, how are we filtering it? It's simple. We just want the products whose product code starts with paper. So this is the filter value wherein it is paper dash, and then you have all the products that are related to it. So let me open this products for you. And let's go to all products. Let me just. So now you see these. You have printer pack, you have paper letter, paper legal, paper A4, and paper A1. So only these 4 products will be visible to us. So now let's go back and let's check out how this works in action. So we'll go to quote number 25.
Mitul, I have one query, Rahul, this side.
Sure,
So
sure.
the product code of the filter that we are looking at is product code, which is nothing but a text.
Right.
Can we also put up the filters upon the category, maybe, because there might be a chance that the text there could be some mistakes, errors.
Absolutely.
Code.
So, yes, you can. Let me show you as well. Action. So here what we have done is we have selected the filter field to be product code. So you can do it based on product family. You can do it based on any other field. But you might be knowing this. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but when you want to use any other field apart from this, you just have to add the API name to this filter field. So if you go to your product action object, there will be a field called filter field. And on the pick list value, you just have to add the API name of that particular field that you want to use. And that will work.
Okay, understood.
And I'll show it to you in the next example also on how we do it. Reason being, the first one that I took was a bit simpler, and then we'll go on a complex level for the next one, yeah?
Okay. And in the filter value that you have just typed in,
Correct.
or it is also pick list value?
No, this is typed in value, because here you have options like equals, not equals, start with, or contains. So then this is a text value where you can mention anything that you want.
Okay.
And then either you can compare it with a specific value also. Like this is a general feature where you can use it in all of your product rules or whatever. So if you want that, product code starts with paper, you can have product code. And then if you add your value object, like you want to compare it with any other field on code, you can do so as well.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay, I'll take it as a no. Let's go to quote 25 and we'll click edit lines. Okay, let's add products. Let's select printer pack. And because we selected dynamic as our option selection method, that is why you have your add options. So if I click add options now, and the toner option that you saw was coming because of another rule that we have already. So now you can see I have added I can see all 4 products that are related to paper only. So I can select these many, or I can select all 4. Let's just select 2, for example. And you notice the price. Now price of this particular paper feature then will be added based on the price that you can see of the options. So now if I go to save, here I can see the pricing of my options. So my printer pack will have the price of the options that have been selected, because the original price that we saw, we added to 0, and we wanted to combine the price of all the options that have been selected. Okay, any questions on this? Okay, thank you. So now let's move on to our price rules. So we were on product rules. We did a demo, and now we are on to price rules. So price rules enable you to put a value in a field. Remember, you can work on product option, quote, or quote line. And you have only these 3 objects that you can figure out stuff from, but you really don't need anything else as well. So for both product rules and price rules, you are contained within 3 options for you guys, which is product option, quote, and quote line objects. Now, the values that you want to put in a field can be static, field value, summary variable, a value that is returned by a lookup query, or a value that is returned by a formula. And similar to product rules, price rules also work on if-then structure. So price condition is if part of your if-then structure, and price action is then part of your if-then structure. Notice how we had an error condition for product rule, which means you have to enter the opposite of what you wanted in the condition. That was the error condition. Whereas here we just enter the price condition directly. There is no error condition required here. And since the name is price rule, you might think it will calculate the price of a product. It's actually contrary to the name. So your price rules can be used beyond pricing related actions. You can set a quantity, you can check a checkbox, or you can put any value that you want in a text field. And for today's use case, we are going to do a lookup-based product rule, a lookup-based price rule. So this was the example that I was talking about earlier. We have to populate the discount percentage based on the membership level and the product family. So we have 3 partner level, bronze, silver, and gold. And then you have product family that are hardware, software, and support. So for each tier and for each product family, you have a different discount. So you have 5, 2, and 3 for bronze. For silver, you have 10, 5, 5. And for gold, you have 15, 8, and 7. Which means that if you are a gold member and you have bought products from software product family, you will get an 8% partner discount. Similarly, if you are a silver member, your discounts will be different on each type of products. So this is the use case that we are going to work on today. So let me directly take you on the org and show it to you. Okay. So first of all, we have created a custom object, which is partner level discount. So this is a custom object with the fields that you decide. So you basically have the partner level, product family, and the partner discount. So if I open any record, this is similar to how you create your usual custom object. So you can just create this object and add 3 fields called partner level, product family, and partner discount. Notice how we have added the partner discount value for each possible combination here. So the ones that I mentioned, all these values are added here. So bronze has 5, 2, 3, silver has 10, 5, 5, and gold also has 15, 8, and 7.
So that is a percentage field or a number?
Yes, that's a percentage field. So this is a number field actually.
Yeah,
it's not a percentage field, yeah.
Okay.
So we have done all the pre-work that is required for a price rule, and I'll show you what is all that pre-work. So I'm going to my price rule called set partner discount based on lookup query. Now we have the price rule. The evaluation scope is calculator, and the calculator evaluation event is before calculate. Now notice how we have added a lookup object here. And for this is where you have to add the API names. So this partner level discount __ C is the API name of our object, and I have added it on our price rule object. So let me take you to the setup as well. So I'm just showing you one, and based on that, you'll understand. So I'm on price rule. And we want the field called lookup object. So it's just your part of basic things wherein you can add a pick list value. So here on the lookup object, I've just added this value of my API name. So anywhere, wherever you have to add your API names, and most of the times it will be in the price action, you can do it easily. It's very simple. So first, let's look at the price action. So here, partner discount is a field that is already added, but you can basically select your target object as quote, quote line, and product option. Remember the 3 objects that I mentioned earlier. And based on that, you can select the price. So some of the fields are given, standard fields are already given. But if you want to use any other field, you simply have to add the API name. That's it. It's as simple as that. So what we are telling this product rule is, there are 2 lookup queries. One is on quote and one is on quote line. So your field value, your match type is field value. So you want to match your field value, which is the partner level field on your quote object. So there is a partner level field on your quote object. At any quote, if you look at, let's pick up this for example, there's a partner level field. Okay. So it's saying that this partner level field should equal to the partner level lookup field. And on our object here, which was the partner level discounts field. So this partner level field that you see has the API name partner level __ C. So you're just comparing your partner level on quote with the partner level on your custom object that you have created for lookup. Similarly, you're comparing the product family on the quote line to the product family on your lookup object. Are you all with me until now?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So we ask this product rule to match these 2 values that are requested. And then on the action, you are just telling that to fill it in your target field, which is partner discount. And here you can see what is the source lookup field. It is the partner discount field. So it will basically match those 2 lookup queries that were done and take the partner discount field, the value of the partner discount field from here, and it will put it into the partner discount that is on quote line object. Are you all with me until now?
Yes.
Mitul, I have one question.
Yes.
Now, suppose lookup query returns 2 records, then which record it will take?
No, that will not happen. Reason, and that will give you an error. Reason being, if you look at the partner level discounts we have set here, you will see there are no common records that can be fetched.
Okay.
So by mistake, if you add 2 with the same configurations, it will give you an error. It will not work.
Okay.
Okay. So now let's go to our code. Let's go to quote number 31 and check out the partner level is bronze right now. So now let's go to edit lines. And we'll just do it for one product, so it's more easier for everyone to understand. So I'm searching for monitor, which is a hardware product. And for bronze and hardware, let's go back. Bronze and hardware, you have a 5% discount. Okay. So let's go back to our quote. And you can see 250 is your list price. And you have your partner discount filled to 5%. And hence your total comes up to 237. Now I'm canceling this. So it is a formula field that we have created and we are fetching the partner level from the account object. So if I change my partner level on the account, let's make it blank, or let's change it to gold. So if I go to gold, now I'll come here and refresh this. So now you can see it is gold. Your partner level is gold now. Based on the partner level, gold and hardware should get a 15% discount now. So let's go back to edit lines. And products. We'll add the same product called monitor. Select. And you'll see a list price of 250. And then a partner discount of 15% is applied here. Hence, the net total comes to 212.5. And because the discounts are applied on a quote line, hence, even if you have a mixture of hardware and software products, you'll always see the partner discount will be separate based on the levels that you have entered here. Any questions?
Yeah, Mitul, one question that, say, for example, like you have just shared one of the example that you went back and changed the value from bronze to gold. Now we already have one open quote. Say, for example, you save it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're not sending it to the customer yet. But for some reason, you have changed the it back to bronze or silver, something like that. Will that impact to the open quote, or will it recalculate, or do we have to do that manually?
So the function of save is to saving the quote to the quote, right? So now the moment you come back and click edit lines, it will just bring all these things back and it will then recalculate it. So the moment you click save again, because the load event, the evaluation event was set to always, it will recalculate it entirely. And the moment you click save or just calculate, you'll see a refreshed price.
But we have to edit the code once more to get
Yes.
the updated one, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Do we see the logic, or let's say the scheme information for each lines?
In the quote itself?
Yes.
So in the quote, you cannot really see it. But so if you expand this, you'll get details of what or how many percentage was applied, which you can already see here. And this is an additional tray. So if you wish to add more fields here, you can do so if it's your customer's requirement. Else, this is a separate object altogether, right? So you can have some sort of guidance for your sales rep or whatever.
Okay. Okay.
Because when you have discount schedules, you get all those information, like you have tiers and all. Right. But because this is a custom object that you're creating, Salesforce wouldn't know what you are going to create, right? So they just have given you, advantage of using whatever fields or whatever data you want. But only this is I wouldn't call it as a drawback, but a limitation where you cannot display whatever you want here,
Okay.
So there are a set of fields that you can just drag to this tray and add it.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Thank you. So let's summarize the product rules and price rules. And this main thing is where you can use it. So you can use your product rules when you want to limit min or max number of options, or you want to enable or disable an option. You want to automatically select or deselect options for the user. You want to hide or show options for the user, or you want to validate a user selection showing an error message if it's invalid. So if you come across any such scenario, you could do product rules. And price rules can be used when you want to put a value in the field. The value can be of any type, which is static, field value, or summary variable, or any value returned by lookup query, or any value returned by formula. And your sources can be a variable, value, field, formula, or a lookup.